Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the April 14th, 1984 edition of Mid South Wrestling Review. And like I mentioned before, the goal is to get through the entire year of 1984 and have it uploaded by the 2nd of January at latest. So hopefully that can continue. At least that's my desire, anyway. For those that are new to the channel, just a brief request. If you could subscribe, like, comment to the content that's here, that'll help us produce more stuff. Also, if you need business, relationship, or any sort of coaching in any way, including entertainment, worth giving a look to my other channel, Golden Opportunities Coaching, and ultimately discounts available for YouTubers as well. So give that a check out. Anyway, and again, this is the 14th of April in 1984. 1984, probably the hottest year, I would assume, business wise. I don't have business analytics in front of me, so don't shoot me if I'm wrong on this. But 84, to me, is probably the best year for Mid South in terms of business analytics to this point, perhaps ever. 85 might rival it. But anyway, we kind of go through, and obviously the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express heating up continues to do that, and I would imagine does that through the remainder of 1984. I don't think the Express moves on till 85 or very late in 84. They have not moved on, and I'm up to November in my watching, so they're still there at least in November. Anyway, as we move into the action, your main baby faces about to shift in the next few months as the Junkyard Dog does leave in 84, so that's a pretty big deal. Probably the biggest deal, and maybe even a block to the beginning of the end, a little bit, I would think, maybe. Anyway, April 14th is also the continuation of the Russians. Volkov actually stays longer than I imagined, so interesting when he finally leaves. Highlights of the television title tournament are here. Obviously, it is Terry or Crusher Khrushchev who eventually wins that. Crusher Khrushchev and Terry Taylor actually is the final match in that, and ultimately, we do see Khrushchev getting the victory there with some underhandedness. They do show highlight packages of the entire deal, and including but not limited to the underhandedness of everybody and the Super Destroyer in there, or one that looks like the Super Destroyer going after Duggan throughout the tournament, and that kind of continues. Terry Taylor and the Nikolai Volkov. Volkov has a singles heel and a main talent. Still strikes me as an oddity. I'm so used to seeing Volkov as at best, fodder for Hulk Hogan and all of that. Just strikes me as odd. Anyway, Crusher Khrushchev eventually winning the tournament. Faces Sarah Taylor off here, and ultimately, Taylor and he's kind of talking a little bit. Ladies are enamored with Taylor. He's a pretty big deal, and he trying to get as much attention as he can. Jim Cornette in his face. Also, Butch Reed wants more of Terry Taylor, and they fight at ringside. Do some promoing against each other. Reed runs in, hits Taylor with some illegal stuff, and Khrushchev ends up getting the action to continue a little bit. We move towards Bill Watts addressing the last Stampede. Basically says that it's hard for guys to know when to retire, but he wants to get his hands on the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette. Speaking of the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette, Josh Stroud and Terry Torres do provide I guess you'd say the adversarial competition here, for them. And again, the Midnights are still your tag team champions. Cornette continues to be obviously growing to be a really good manager. Mid South, kind of where he finds himself, I think. Not that Memphis wasn't a place for, but he was still getting his feet wet in Memphis. Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey wearing the black tights. Eaton wearing the blue, so Eaton certainly a guy who um, has a good run. Anyway, we see several tackles and whatnot from the enhancement talent tag off attempted, and it's interesting that the Torres manages to get some body slams off, a few drop kicks. Anyway, Bobby Eaton making him look like $1,000,000 gets up a little sore. Meanwhile, the Midnight Express continues the regular tags. Back elbow by Eaton. Eaton manages to continue his aggression assertion and to tag off. The Midnight Express proving, even in enhancement matches, that tag team wrestling includes the word tag quite a bit, as they are, in fact, pretty aggressive about, tagging off. Beautiful power slam eventually by Eaton. Eaton manages to get the advantage there. Tags off to Stroud. Actually sends him into his own corner. Does Eaton. Eaton doesn't seem to be worried about that. The suplex, almost a brainbuster style maneuver by Condrey. Condrey manages to get some kicks off, and a short knee by Eaton. Eaton and Condrey do get a victory. Not a big surprise there. Highlights of Magnum TA and Mr. Wrestling 2 are up next from earlier arena show, and you see them brawling. TA in the clip gets the advantage with the brawl, manages to kind of point off that he certainly wants to get things going. The referee gets hit with the knee lift by 2, oddly enough, inadvertently, but the referee gets knocked to the outside. Of course, it is Mr. Wrestling 2 that has caused major problems for TA. We see the torture rack, almost backbreaker like maneuver, tries to get a submission. Referee comes back in, and Wrestling 2, in fact, has laid out Magnum TA, and TA gets pinned there. Magnum TA against Dale Vestry. TA no longer your North American champion as a result of all the chaos here. Vestry manages to kind of go heads up with Magnum for a bit. A couple of forearms, some hard shots in the corner and the like, and we do see things going in the proper direction there. Big body slam by TA along the way. An Irish whip, and the belly to belly suplex. TA gets the victory there. 1, 2, 3, and a good victory for him. Joe Savoldi against the new Mr. Wrestling 2, which I assume is Jim Neidhart, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They do some talking there. Mr. Wrestling 2 kind of is highlighted. New Wrestling 2 comes in and does some power shots and basic stuff. Joel Savoldi providing the position there, and kind of keeps things going in a positive direction. Power moves though by Wrestling 2 through the new Wrestling 2 throughout. Punches, kicks, hot shots, body slams, and the like. I assume it's Neidhart because he moves like Neidhart. However, I don't have 100% proof of that. The other Mr. Wrestling on the outside kind of coaching him along. So kind of a mentor relationship akin to what is their nerve holds along the way. Magnum TA and Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee, of course, known as the masked version of the Junkyard Dog against the Mr. Wrestling quadrant or content there. And we close the program with Stagger Lee and Wrestling 2's being dominated by Stagger Lee and Magnum TA. So we'll close for that. We'll be back with more right after this.